What up, y'all? Justin getting seeds of Xanadu. It's getting hot again. Up to pretty much last week, man, we've been dealing with the mid 80s, 86 kind of being our high. To me, that's not too bad. Here we go though. Yesterday was 93. I think today's gonna be the same. And then tomorrow, looks like we're gonna start flirting around with some of those triple digits. This is what I like to do during the summer, more so to preserve my body than really anything else. It's about 7:30 in the morning now. This one I like to get out to the plot. I like to try to get onto the plot and off the plot by 10 o'clock in the morning. And then the rest of the day, I'll spend it underneath the canopy, inside the garage, kind of going in and out of the house as well to try to keep myself cool. I mean, it's still pretty hot, but at least I'm not doing all the extra physical activity. Gotta go finish clearing these rows. As you can see, these rows are just depleted, right? What I did for the final harvest of these rows, I actually just came out here and hit them with the weed whacker. Then I covered them up with 80% with 80% shade cloth. And I've let them sit here for right about 2 weeks. Due to our sporadic weather, we've been up and down until now. It looks like I said, it's kind of getting hot now. Our plants are bolting really fast. So I lost succession. The way that I like to plant things out here is pretty much 3 rows a week because we're so small. We'll do 2 rows of our salad mix and then another row of arugula. That's pretty much what we sell every single week here. I pretty much got to keep that succession going. Anyhow, because I've caught up, because all the rows that we've cleared for their final harvest, like these 2 rows, they only got 1 harvest really out of them. And that was barely even a harvest. Because of that, I just pretty much cleared them, weed whacked them, and just sat on them. Didn't really spend my energy, kind of did stuff in other places. Coming back to do this stuff after being weed whacked, it's really easy. Don't get me wrong, I still have to come down here and handle this stuff. It's a bunch of nut grass, and then we have some gnarly rhizomial grass going in there. So I got to clear all that out, and then we'll finish clearing these rows. But what I'm finding is that this stuff just comes right up, man, you know? I mean, there's some of it that's rooted, but for the most part, it seems to be no work. I can put or apply in some areas a lot less pressure with my circle hoe than I normally would have to. So that's really nice. Anyhow, let's go ahead and knock this out. So this is nut grass. This is some pretty bad stuff. It's a rhizomial grass that we get here. This is the first year that's really come back this heavy. So what I have to do is get this stuff out. Well, first off, as you can see, like what I do, here's a nut grass. I try to start picking far around it, right? What it has is like rhizomes underneath here that look like nuts. That's where it gets its name. But as it sprawls out, when you start breaking those nuts, it just forms the grass really from where you break it at. So unless you get, of course, the rhizome out. So that's why I go far around it to try to make sure I'm gonna get all the rhizome up as I possibly can. These, I would not be surprised if those guys were not all connected. So that's why I try to go as far as I can and then get underneath there, and then hopefully I can get all that rhizome out and then take out that whole system. Let's go. See what I'm saying when I mean them being connected? That's just a small amount. Really important to get this stuff out because it will overtake a bed really quick. Like, I don't want to just come over this with my circle hoe and just take off the top because that's just going to make more of them come. What I'm going to try to do is just clear as much of this crap out as I possibly can, even out of the walkways, so that it just is kind of like no more. Believe it or not, these 2 beds were the worst. Like when I was clearing this out from when I first put these rows in, there's all these little small pieces of grass all over the place, man. It seemed like I couldn't get rid of them. But believe it or not, I haven't really had a problem up until now. So, and that's this half of the bed. So that's why I'm gonna go in here, clear this thing out, and then hopefully we should be cool. The one thing that has to be remembered when it comes to rhizomial grass is that this is a fight, dude. This is like a war, you know what I mean? You'll stay on top of it, and eventually it gets easier. I won't say that the grass ever goes away, but it does get easier to maintain. The more you stay on top of it, the more, you just stay ahead. So this whole plot was full of just Bermuda grass. If you go down to earlier videos, you'll see me battling it. Then now, I don't really have to deal with it nearly as much as what I was dealing with it in the beginning. So now we have this stuff. So I plan on doing it exactly the same way, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get the exact same results. Like kind of Crickmore said, there's no such thing as being weed-free. They're just the appearance of being weed-free. These roots are really fragile underneath here as well. This is a nut. See that? So basically, that nut, that's what powers all this grass. And as you can see, you know, you can go down pretty deep. It'll kind of do like that. Kind of does one of those numbers, right? So you want to get these rhizomes in that whole cluster. At least that's what I've been doing. And it feels like it's working. Like I said, I'll never be completely grass free, but the more I do this, the more I drive this stuff back, I'll be able to tolerate the grass that I do get, I guess. So this stuff's down there really deep. This whole entire fork, right? It's like at least a foot. Going that deep, I'm still feeling myself breaking roots. My goal is to constantly be breaking out that rhizome as low into the soil as I possibly can, so that it has to go and, you know, regenerate back up. And the more that I do that, hopefully I just burn out whatever rhizomes are down deep in that soil. I feel like that's what I've done for my Bermuda grass over there on my other rows, but nevertheless, we still get things that pop up. This stuff is pretty treacherous, man. Look how deep that goes. That was all underground, including this. This is gonna turn into more grass that you'll see on top. This right here, that's how deep this stuff goes. So yeah, that's what you're dealing with here. I don't know if it's like this rhizome that feeds this rhizome. Interesting stuff, man. Now this row, I'm gonna have to really get in there and get that stuff out. Unfortunately, this row was a little bit more neglected on the edge. This stuff kind of grows in a little bit faster, and the fence here, so I have to often jump over the fence in order to clear all that stuff out, and it's not exactly the funnest thing for me to do. So I've kind of let it go a little bit too long, but now I'm gonna actually get in here and clear all that stuff out. This stuff I probably should have cleared around the same time that I cleared the bed, but I just decided not to. I was hoping that the shade cloth was gonna help me out, but it didn't. So we'll go ahead and take that stuff out now. I used to hit a fence way different than I hit a fence now. These are the other kind of weeds we get. This is actually an edible. This is called mallow. Pretty deep taproot there. Bioaccumulator. This is a good one. This one I'm not certain what it is. Kind of like goosefooty. I don't think it's a goosefoot. There's a couple more, hold on. You get this. This is called prostrate spurge, or speckled prostrate spurge. Poisonous. It's a white sap. See it? Yeah, that stuff's pretty bad. Kind of toxic, so you want to stay away from that. There are some other plants in here that are pretty cool. Now this is the prostrate spurge. Again, poisonous. Not to be mistaken for purslane. Delicious. Great in all kind of salads. It's one of my favorite wild edibles. Yeah, you can find it pretty much in any yard. They're really good. Another weed that has kind of come from us by neighbors and the Home Depot. Check it. Morning Glory. It's pretty. Morning Glory is a beautiful flower. I like it a lot, but it's coming against my trellis here. And my thing is I don't want it to spread to get to my cucumbers and get all mixed in with that. That would just be a nightmare. So I've been really doing my best just to drive it back and keep it relegated to that little area back there. Hopefully it eventually gets to point and just starts kind of trellising back that way. I don't know. I don't really want it around my trellising areas. Morning Glory is a plant that you can actually find in Home Depot. It's extremely invasive, but it's extremely beautiful, so I don't think many people really mind. I normally don't mind. I wouldn't mind at all if it wasn't growing right there. If it was growing somewhere else, man, that'd be awesome. It's not. So I gotta kill it. Yeah, it's a gnarly one. Now it will finally succumb to the heat. The thing is that this is a perennial, so it's just gonna come back where it left off. So you really wanna keep a handle on this stuff, or it will really take over a garden really quick. Things are looking pretty tidy. Now I got to clear these rows. One other thing that's pretty cool about doing the weed whacker thing, getting back to that, is I can use a leaf rake for this. The rest of that stuff I'll STIRRUP hoe, and shouldn't be a problem. Dang, y'all. That jump was fast, man. That's so much easier. Check out the waste amount too. Look,
That's pretty much all I took off. Just this.
Up, guys, so it's much later in the day and I'm actually getting ready to go, but I wanted to finish the video. I didn't end up seeding it after all. It got a bit too hot, but I did finish with the rows. We just covered them up. They got watered in really nice. Yeah, these things are coming out really nice. I like the way it's looking right now. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for your subscribing. Thanks for the love and passing just the channel around, man. It means a lot. Neighbors having a good time. I gotta go shopping. Peace, y'all.